Bigtime News Breakdown. This week we have Volcano versus the Rhodes, a fake fossil, up close with a bald eagle, and Kitty wants attention. Our first story takes us way up to Iceland. Far in the North Atlantic is the island of Iceland, and there are lots of volcanoes in Iceland, and there are some that have been erupting for the last couple of months. The first eruption started in the evening of the 18th of December, 2023, but it only lasted about 3 days. The second started the 14th of January, and the most recent was on the 8th of February. They call this the Eldvorp-Svartsengi volcanic system. Now watch what happens. The lava has started flowing over the only road leading to this town of Grindavik. And if it gets covered over, then nobody's going to be able to access this town. It's already been evacuated, so watch what happens. Now the story of the fake fossil. Nearly 100 years ago, there was a man who worked in a museum, and he was hiking in the mountains in Italy, and he found a fossil of a lizard hidden there in the rocks. It was about 9 inches long, and he broke it out and he took it to some scientists. And the scientists looked at it and studied it, and they were amazed. They said, "Oh, this is some new kind of lizard we've never seen before." And it looked like the skin of the lizard had been preserved, which would be very rare for fossils or lizards or any other kind of animal. They said this one was 280 million years old and gave it the name Tridentinosaurus antiquus. If it were really preserved skin, that would make it the oldest fossilized mummy in the world. They said that it was part of a new genus, a new grouping of animals, and they said it was very important for our understanding of evolution of reptiles. Later on, some started arguing about the bones they saw, and they said, well, here's some bones we hadn't noticed before. They're hidden here. You can see some of the drawings they made where they thought they saw some of the bones. And they said, well, maybe these flaps of skin were really wings. Would that let it glide through the air? Is this a new kind of flying lizard? Well, recently, a new examination was taken of this fossil with new methods and new tools, and they discovered some things. They discovered that, well, in reality, it was not a flying lizard that was found. It wasn't even a whole lizard. They weren't even sure what it was. Apparently, only parts of the back legs and some of the scales on its back were real, and all the rest had been painted and carved by somebody. Somebody carved out the shape of the lizard, and then they filled it in with paint, and they made some other scratches and marks where bones would have been, and it turned out to be a total fake. A scientist said, "Black paint created the illusion of a lizard-like animal impression on the surface of the rock." And another said, well, the entire fossil isn't fake, though. Genuine hind limb bones and tiny bone scales are preserved in the rock. Therefore, the additional carving and paint may have been poor fossil preparation in years past rather than an outright forgery. They said they didn't believe that whoever prepared the fossil was trying to create a fake creature. They might have discovered the hind limbs and carved the shape of lizard where they thought the rest of the animal was going to be. And there they thought for 100 years this was some special lizard that had been found, but it turned out to be only the back end parts of part of the animal, and the rest was all fake, and the scientists believed it for so long. So watch out for fake lizards and fake scientists. Close encounter with a bald eagle. Bald eagles are some of the largest birds in North America. They like to eat fish and other small animals. They used to be very rare in this country, and they almost became extinct. They were almost wiped out because of poisons that people were using to kill bugs. Well, they realized that this was bad for birds, so people stopped using those poisons. And now the bald eagles are coming back. Their numbers are increasing. And more can be seen in the skies and on the tops of very tall trees, but still it's very rare for someone to see one up close. And they're also kind of dangerous animals. They have big sharp claws and sharp beaks, and you really don't want to get too close. You don't know what they're going to do. Well, a man was hunting in Hemp Hill, Texas back in November, and watch what happened.
You know, I was out hunting today, come up on this old lake way back in the woods, and I saw an eagle all the way across it. You see the lake. And I said, Lord, I sure would like to get close to that eagle, because sometimes I feel like you don't always hear me. But if you hear me today, let me get close. I had a bald eagle land on my shoulder out here hunting. I don't think you can get no closer than that right there at all.
Finally, in our last story, here's a video of a kitty who really needs some attention. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next week, and we should have some new stories to share with you.